So now we're going to take a look at rifts and some of the dynamic content in the game. So a rift is where the ward between Telara and the plains is kind of sundered open, and all of these invading elements come into the game. What we're looking at right here is a tear. A tear is the first form of a rift. It basically tells people that the ward is weakening here and that something will happen eventually. If a player leaves it alone, it'll open up on its own. However, they can take the fight to the plains, which is what we're going to do in this particular case. So we're going to go ahead and open up our lure. And we're going to see what opens up here. So with each Rift event, it's something new and different every single time. So in this particular case, you can see we're getting an invasion from the plane of Earth, which is something we really haven't shown very much of yet. So this is going to be a first look at that as well. So as you can see, the entire environment has changed. We've gone from a pseudo-lush landscape to an area that's kind of a little bit more arid and barren. The monsters in the area have changed as well. So before we had goblins, now we have golems. With all of the Rift events, they're dynamic in the sense that you're never quite sure what's going to happen on the other side. Players, every time they open a Rift, will have a new experience and something different to play through every time. So we're going to go ahead and work our way through some of this event. One of the nice things about Rifts is they are public events. Anybody can join in whenever they want. They will see these things going on in the world. They'll kind of come in and help you with it as well. They're built to scale really well. So while we're completing one solo right now, if more people came along, we'd push the Rift event farther and farther. As you go farther into the stages of a Rift, the Rift becomes unstable, meaning it'll close pretty soon. And if you don't kind of push through the stage fast enough, the Rift will close a little bit early and you might not get the best reward. So it really behooves you to kind of join together as a group and fight through it. So I mentioned before that Rifts kind of come in three stages. First we have the tear, which is kind of the warning that a Rift will happen. Then we have the Rift event, which is what we're playing through here. Rifts can open on their own, and they will happen all over the world, whether or not the player likes them or not. The world is being invaded after all. But what will happen if you do not kind of seal a Rift and deal with it permanently is it'll turn into what we call a foothold, where the plane is actually taken, set up a base in Telara and continues to expand from there. So what we're going to do is move away from this Rift real quick, that way we don't get stuck in combat, and we're going to pull open the map. So with the map open, you can kind of see what the state of the world is right now. There are multiple objects there. As you can see, we have little swirling objects which indicate rifts have opened, little blue stars which are tears, and then we have what we call footholds. So we're going to mouse over a foothold real quick and zoom out just a little bit more, and you'll see these lines that come up whenever we mouse over a foothold. This is actually an invasion. It shows that the plane is kind of erupted in an area, and there's forces moving across the land, slowly trying to take things over. Obviously, these planar invasions will go after player property. They'll go after Guardian and Define areas, making it hard for people to quest and, generally causing havoc and chaos. You want to close them down as soon as possible to keep the world as stable as possible. But also one of the nice things about these events is the fact that they'll go after each other as well. The planes aren't all in alignment, so, the plane of fire will attack the plane of water, the plane of earth may attack the plane of air, and it really allows for a very dynamic environment. Every time you log into the game, you'll have a different experience, and you don't always have to ally with other players. You could potentially ally falling in behind the plane of water as they clear out the plane of fire and wait for the opportune moment to kind of attack that opposing force when they're weakest, when they've just taken out your enemy for you. So that was a quick look at Rift, Plains of Telara, a PC MMO game we'll be releasing in early 2011.